No, my TV is good. Trust me, Gerardo, because Gerardo says, would you consider getting a monitor instead of the TV you're using? My TV is good. This Sony TV has a good refresh rate, good response time. That's not even a factor. Like, it would be like a negligible difference of me playing on this TV versus a gaming monitor. It's not a big deal, you know? The problem is the fucking game. I couldn't believe the game had built-in input lag like that.
Heyo, DSP projecting here. And nah, I don't think I am going to trust Phil on this one. It seemed like there was a bit of skepticism in my last video about how dented Phil's setup really is. Later on in this video, we'll check that out, but spoiler alert, it is dented, so I'm not sure I trust him about this gaming monitor stuff. In the next clip, try not to get too distracted by all the numbers he throws out, and try to visualize in your mind just how dumb his setup is as he describes it.
Also switching to a gaming monitor, asked Lucky Gremlin. So here's the deal. I looked into this. My TV is 50 inches. A gaming monitor of 50 inches costs about $70,000. All right, maybe not 70,000, but I think you see the point. You can't really get a gaming monitor of the size that I would need to fit right here. I'm just being honest, you know. I was looking into gaming monitors. For a 4K gaming monitor, even at 28 to 32 inches, it's very expensive. It's like you're getting up there in price. Pretty hefty price. So basically, to get a gaming monitor that would be big enough for this setup that I'm using right now, it wouldn't be viable. I would have to change my whole setup. Like, instead of using that stand with the TV, I'd maybe have to get another table to put in front of me here to have a gaming monitor here. In which case, now my whole setup's different, and I don't really see the point. You can get a 43-inch gaming monitor, 144 hertz with G-Sync for around 1K. Yeah, but is it 4K? I don't know if it's 4K. I was looking at a monitor. I wanted to see if I replaced the one I'm using now, if I could get one that does like 1440p. And even that, to get like a 1440p 120 hertz monitor, of course they're like 144. That's like almost like 300 or 200 some dollars. And then when I started looking at the 4K monitors, the prices jumped astronomically. So, and that's only for like 20 some inches. So imagine now if I'm trying to get like 40 some inches, it's probably going to double the price. Right now, I just don't see the need. This TV is great. I looked up the stats for this TV. The stats are amazing. You know, it does 60 frames at 4K, 120 hertz. I think the TV is actually 144 hertz. From what I saw. This is one of the best mid-range gaming TVs available. Even 2 years later, this is still ranked as one of the best mid-range gaming TVs. So, I'm not too concerned. You know, maybe eventually I would care. I just don't really right now.
Right off the bat, disregard everything he said about 4K versus 2K. It doesn't matter, no one cares. It's diminishing marginal returns at best on YouTube, and due to Kick's bitrate limit, that one he has to squint to look at every stream, probably unnoticeable. The quality, not the bitrate. Sure, keep the TV for consoles, that makes sense, no argument there, but consolidate both PCs so the monitors are actually in front of you. And I'll give Phil credit on one thing, he was right about a decent 2K gaming monitor costing around 200 to 300 bucks. But when he said it, he knew how dumb he sounded considering you just dropped $250 on a new microphone or financed it. I'm more of a laptop style individual. I really only use my PC for video editing, but regardless, my primary monitor on it is a 27-inch Acer Nitro, which is 2K, 180Hz, and always on sale at Micro Center for $200. I have some info from ChatGPT on screen about the monitor, and please note it says I am looking at an input lag of about 1 to 5 milliseconds. In my opinion, that quote-unquote investment in a monitor would make more sense than a new mic that makes you sound worse because you refuse to use it properly. I'm not much of a gamer, but I do watch a lot of LTT, not LTG. So, if I misunderstood anything Linus was explaining, please correct me in the comments below. DSP's obsession with quality shoots him in the foot for any competitive gameplay. His settings don't need to be trash, but it's my understanding modest 1080p with like high quality graphics allows your CPU and GPU just to pump out frame after frame versus like something like 2K ultra high settings. This alone would put DSP at a disadvantage, but let's find out if his TV compounds on that disadvantage anymore.
Says one thing that would be tongue-tied. Let's try this again. One thing that would be the next upgrade is to actually play PC games on a PC monitor, not a TV, and leave the TV for PS5, but that would mean that you have to move things around. It's never going to happen. It's going to be one or the other. I don't have room. This is a tiny room. I don't have room for multiple monitors and TVs. I don't. I have one monitor to my left. That's for my streaming and capture setup. I have the TV to my right. It's always going to stay like that. There's absolutely no room for a monitor and a TV here, and it's not going to work. And, you know, some people do have room for that. They have professional studios that they spend $1 million on, and they can rearrange and renovate the room. I can't do that. You know, I need to have a bigger TV. Like, for example, this TV that I have here, I'm trying to remember how big it is. I can't remember. I think it's like 40, is it 47 inches or something like that? It's not huge, okay? I used to have a much bigger TV, and it was too big for the room. But I basically need this size. Whatever size this TV is, it's perfect. I can't give a monitor that's smaller than that. I won't be able to read anything, okay? And I can't have anything, I don't want anything bigger than that, and there's not room for two. So, unless they start selling computer monitors that are that size and aren't $4,000, I'm sticking with what I got. And by the way, I'm very happy with what I've got. It's very nice. It's a very high-quality TV. Like I said, I bought it about 2 years ago to Sony. It's high-end. It does 4K, 60 frames, everything else 120 hertz. VRR enabled, like has everything. It has all the bells and whistles and features. So it's a really nice TV. Probably lasts me another couple years, 2-3 years, and then I'll probably get another one. But yeah, I'm really not looking to upgrade the TV at this point. It's fine. Like, it's been perfect for all of my purposes. That's why I'm glad I spent what I did 2 years ago, because essentially it's a future-proofed TV for a while. There you go. By the way, shout out to Perry the White, our first contributor of the day. I said who would be the first contributor. We have it.
Before we find out firsthand why DSP doesn't have room, let's focus more on the TV. 6 days later, he calls the same TV a mid-range 50-inch. It seems he was doing a bit of research. Well, so was I. More stats on screen, but I'll go over the highlights for the audio-style listeners. It seems like a 2-year-old high-end Sony TV has about 8 to 15 milliseconds of input lag. I believe Phil when he said mid-range, so he may not even be getting that. But the worst-case input delay for my monitor is still lower than the best case for a high-end TV, which he unlikely has. How does Phil get on stream and argue this stuff? I don't blindly follow AI, but the conclusion it reached seemed a lot more plausible than anything that has ever come out of Phil's mouth. And it goes, conclusion. For competitive online gaming, the reduced input lag of a gaming monitor can provide a tangible advantage over a TV, particularly in fast-paced games. While the difference might not always be decisive, it could mean winning or losing in critical moments. If competitive performance is a priority, investing in a gaming monitor is highly recommended. Maintenant, la pièce de résistance.
Anyway, all right, so I want to show you my setup. You ready? You know, it's funny because I took these pictures this morning and I was like, wow, I could have waited and I could have just showed you when the shock mount was installed. But all right, so what you're looking at now is the view from basically if you were standing right where my camera is at my new setup. In front of me, we've got my laptop desk that I've been using for about a decade. Now there's no more clutter. Basically, it's just my laptop, which is open right now so I can monitor the chats from you guys. And I got a keyboard and mouse there, and that controls my streaming and capture PC. Okay, pretty cool. That is the wrong keyboard. Here we go. So now what you're seeing, this is what it looks like, basically, you know, from the opposite perspective, like turned around. So as you can see, no more giant clutter, no more ginormous tripods. I got rid of them. Okay, it's 2 very small tripods now that I have. Pretty cool. So that is my streaming and capture PC. And I said, well, what are all those cables? Well, because of my setup, those are the HDMI cables. They have to run across the floor. There's nothing I can do about it. I wanted an internal capture card. I couldn't get one. That is I only use one monitor now. I don't use the 2 monitors anymore. Yeah, I only use the one, which is great. So it makes it actually easier. It was the reason I used to have the 2 monitor setup was for editing, but I just like having it all on one monitor now. It just makes it easier, in my opinion. It's less complicated, the better. It is there and it has proper aeration. Now the PCs will have aeration, and because they're on wheels, that's actually a small leather chair. That's the chair that I bought earlier this year. If you remember, I was going to do co-op gameplay with my wife, and it didn't really work out for various reasons. Will we try that again in 2025? We'll see. I'll let you know. I'm actually very interested in maybe doing some this next year. Well, games in mind that might work really well for that. All right, continuing on. So this now is my gaming PC setup. This is on the other side of the room. All right, so you saw there is the wireless keyboard and mouse, super high-end Logitech devices, the light speed technology. What is that? It is the new wireless technology, 1 millisecond latency. So it's essentially the same speed as if it were wired. That's how good this new technology is, and I can attest to it. I've been playing. So that's what it looks like for me when I'm about to game. Like, I'm just looking across the room right here at my TV. That's my perspective. Okay? Now, this is what it looks like sitting here and looking directly across my studio. All right? Like right now, this is my perspective looking at you guys and talking with you. So right in front of me is my keyboard and mouse to control the streaming PC. There's my mug. There's my Stream Deck. There's the water that I'm putting into the mug to drink. There's my laptop. And you can see there's the webcam and the light. So basically, I just look right at the webcam. So yeah, it's a pretty crazy setup. All right? No, see, people are like, I can't see. You have to understand there's a difference of perspective between a camera and a human with 2 eyeballs. I can see everything fine. The TV is large. Like, the TV is a huge part of my vision when I'm playing games. I don't need a bigger TV. Same thing over here to the left. The streaming, monitor is quite large. It's not small to me or anything. To you, it may look small, but it's really not. To me, it's actually quite large. Okay.
Maybe his setup looks crazy because it is crazy. But nah, we're the stupid ones that don't have perspective. Including the one built into the laptop, he's messing with 3 different keyboards. And I mind you that the 1 millisecond delay that he boasts about is pointless due to how much input delay the TV has. He could do everything from one PC running multiple monitors right in front of him. He says it's easy to see, but in my last video I had clip after clip of him squinting trying to see it. What is easy to see is how awesome all my viewers are. Thank you so much in this journey. Every like, comment, and subscription helps. So I really do appreciate it all. Deuces.